Okay, let's continue with our different types of nouns. So concrete nouns. Concrete means like hard. It's definitive. So concrete nouns are nouns that can be experienced through our five senses, i.e. stands for example, sight, hearing, smell, touch, or taste. Most nouns are concrete nouns. The opposite of concrete nouns is abstract nouns. Let's look at some examples of concrete nouns. Person, so girl, boy, nurse. Place, school, church, restaurant. Thing, computer, door, lamp. So all these are examples of concrete nouns. And here are example sentences. 1. The nurse wrapped the cut on my finger. 2. The church was very large. 3. The door opened slowly. So these all bolded words and underlined words, these are all common nouns, and these are concrete nouns. Now, what's an abstract noun? It's opposite of concrete. Abstract nouns are nouns that are all about feelings or characteristics and not any of your senses. So it's like you can't really see it. Let's look at some examples of feelings that are abstract nouns. Love, fear, embarrassment, pride, surprise, trust. Here are some sentences using abstract nouns. 1. The cat had fear in his eyes as he ran from the dog. So fear is the abstract noun. Then what's the concrete noun in number 1? Cat. Eyes. Dog. Those are concrete nouns. 2. Love was mentioned in the song many times. Love is the abstract noun. Then what's a concrete noun in this number 2 sentence? Song. Times. Those are concrete nouns. Number 3. Trust grows in a good friendship. Trust, friendship are both abstract nouns. Now this is the hard part. Well, concrete and abstract nouns are easy, and you don't really need to know. It's not important. But countable nouns and non-countable nouns, these are kind of hard. So singular nouns are nouns that mean only one of thing, and plural nouns are nouns that mean more than one. So it could be 2 or more are all called plural nouns. And the rules for the plural nouns, you have to add s at the end. So instead of chairs, it's got to be chairs, dog, dogs, hat, hats. Now box. Now that's a tricky one. You have to add es, boxes. To make singular nouns into plural nouns, the rule is just like the verb. Remember the verb? You have to make it into third person singular. Noun is just opposite. Now you have to make it a plural. Plural. But whatever ends with s, ch, sh, x, and z, just like the verb. And sometimes o. You will have to add es to make it into a plural noun. So count and non-count nouns. Count nouns are easy to spot because they are nouns that can be counted. They are a part of a unit or group of more than one. So here are some countable nouns. Countable, girls, boys, nurses. You usually add s or es to make it into plural. Schools, churches, ch ending, restaurants, books, chairs, lamps. Non-count nouns or mass nouns are nouns that cannot be counted. They are a group, a liquid, gas, a concept, an activity, an idea, or a collection. These are non-count. And the example of non-count nouns or non-countable nouns would be weather, water, poetry, smoking, milk, money. These you cannot count. So remember the rule. If you can use a word a or un in front of the noun in a sentence, or a number word in front of it, it is a counting noun. If you can't, then it is a non-count noun. But that's hard unless you're born or, you're American. That's very hard. So I think it's best to just memorize non-count nouns are this weather, water, like many kind of food like milk, juice, poetry, smoking, milk, all this stuff, money. So here are some sentences using countable nouns. Countable nouns. 1. I ate 3 delicious cookies. 2. The 2 churches were all on the same street. And these are the examples of non-count nouns, non-countable. 1. The homework was difficult to do. 2. The sunshine was warm on my face. Like homework, you can't count. Sunshine, you can't count. Now there's such thing as compound nouns. What's a compound noun? Compound nouns are nouns made up of 2 or more words. Those are compound nouns. Some are just 2 words combined together to make a new word, while others are 2 words joined by a hyphen, or 2 words combined together to make a new word without being joined. So let's take a look. Number 1, 2 words joined. Homework, eyelid. So, not homework, housework. So house is a 1 noun, work is a 1 noun. 1, 2, together. 2 words joined without hyphen. Same thing, eye and lid together joined. Eyelid. 2 words joined by a hyphen. Paper clip. Babysitter. Now these hyphenated words are actually kind of very difficult because there's no rule. So when you're writing a business letter or some formal letter, you should just look up a dictionary, whether to see if it's hyphenated or just joined together. There's no hard rule to distinguish between these two. And 2 words not joined, fish tank, swimming pool. So these are considered as 1 word too. So together it's a noun. It's a common noun, but you call this compound. So it could take in a form of number 1, joined, or number 2, hyphenated, or number 3, it's separated, but still it's considered as 1 word. And here are the examples. 1. The homework was difficult to do. 2. The sunshine was warm on my face. 3. My timeout seemed so long. 4. The couch potato was too lazy to get up and answer the door. So timeout is like you're being punished. You did something wrong and your parents or your teachers will say timeout. That means you stand in the corner somewhere for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever they tell you to do. That's called a timeout. We're taking the time out. And couch potato. What's a couch potato? Couch potato is a person who doesn't really do anything, that sits around the couch and watches TV. The lazy person. You call it couch potato. It's just a slang, American slang. So now, gerund nouns. Now this is a very gerund. It just means you just have to just memorize. Gerund noun means it's a common noun formed from a verb. That's all. Gerund means simply as that. You made a noun by using a verb. And how do you do that? Use ing. Gerund nouns are common nouns formed from a verb ending in ing. So some nouns are made by adding ing to a verb. Let's look at some examples here. Swimming, thinking, dancing. So depending on a sentence, this could be a verb or a noun. Let's take a look at the examples. And these are being used as a noun. 1. Running is something that I enjoy doing. Now this is used as a noun. Well, what if I want to use running as a verb? Then I could say, I am running in the rain. But if you say, I like running, that's also a noun. I like. Like is a verb. What do you like? Running. So running is used as a noun. I like running. If you want to use it as a verb, I am running in a marathon. Number 2, laughing. Laughing with my friends is so much fun. Now this is being used as a common noun. But now let's use laughing as a verb. I am laughing so hard. I am laughing so hard at your jokes. Now I'm using as a verb. Now number 3, we went whitewater rafting. We went whitewater rafting. So we are using rafting as a noun. If I want to use this as a verb, we are rafting in a white water. We are rafting in a white water. Now, collective nouns. Collective nouns is very confusing too. So the last class of nouns, we're going to learn about our collective nouns. Collective nouns are nouns that are easy to remember because they stand for groups. Remember, collective noun is not just one. It's considered as one usually, but it stands for groups. Many, that means many. Let's look at some examples of collective nouns. Team. So when you think of team, it's not just one person. It's going to be 2 or more. Many. Company too. And I'm not talking about corporation company when we say company. We're talking about friends. Choir. Choir is a group of people who sing together. Club, family, class, all these. It's not just one. There are many people representing for each word. So here are some example sentences using collective nouns. The team won the state title. Okay, this is past tense. Large choirs sounded beautiful. Okay, also past. So, and my family spends every holiday together. Now, okay. So when we use past tense, you don't need to worry about if you're gonna use the word team as a plural or singular. That's the good thing about past tense. It does not matter because past tense, no matter what, if it's a singular, third person singular, or if it's a third person plural, it's gonna take the same form. But for the simple present tense, you have to add s. Now, my family, this is considered as a singular noun. It's a collective noun. Collective noun goes both ways. Sometimes you're going to treat this collective noun as a plural, sometimes as singular. So depending on the situation, you're going to have to either treat it as singular or plural. So for number 3 case, you're treating it as a one. My family spends every holiday together. Number 1, 2. The team wins the state title. The large choir sounds beautiful. If you use s at the end, you're treating it as a singular noun. But for all these like collective nouns, you could use it as a plural. So for summary, here's a summary. Let's read it together. So we have learned a lot about nouns. We have learned that there are different types or classes of nouns. Remember, nouns are everywhere. A noun names person, place, thing, feeling, idea, or any concept. That's the definition of a noun, the first line. And there are different types or classes of nouns. Now look, there's so many. Common noun names non-specific person, place, or thing, feeling, ideas, concept, all of the above. Proper nouns are the specific names of a person, place, or thing, feeling, idea, or any concept. Concrete nouns are nouns that can be experienced through our 5 senses, like sight, means seeing, hearing, smell, touch, taste. So the 5 senses. Abstract nouns are nouns that are all about feelings or characteristics and not any of your senses. So you can really see, you can really hear, you cannot really smell it, you cannot touch it, you cannot taste it, but it's an abstract. That's the meaning of abstract. Count nouns or countable nouns are easy to spot because they are nouns that can't be counted, or you could add letter S or ES to make it a plural, or IES if it ends with letter Y. And countable nouns or non-count nouns are non-countable nouns, or you call it a mass noun, are nouns that cannot be counted, like love, hate, jealousy. Compound nouns are nouns made up of 2 or more words. Gerund nouns are common nouns formed from a verb ending in ing. Collective nouns are nouns that are easy to remember because they stand for groups. Yes, it's easy to remember, but it's hard to use it in a sentence if you're going to use it in a simple present tense, because you have to choose either you're going to treat the collective noun as a single, that means family as a one, or you're going to treat it as plural, like family, but you're going to thinking as like 3 or 4 many people in the family, so therefore you're going to treat it as a plural. And let's go over our present continuous use. It's also called present progressive. It means it's happening right now. So, present uses. 1. First, we use a present continuous for things that are happening at the moment. These things usually last for quite a short time, and they are not finished when we're talking about them. For example, I'm working at the moment. Please call back as we're eating dinner now, or Julie is sleeping. So something happening right now. Or number 2 case. We can also use this tense for other kinds of temporary situations, even if the action isn't happening at this moment. John's working in a bar until he finds a job in his field. So this is a temporary situation. He's working at a bar, but this is just temporary because he's he's working at a bar until he finds a new job. That's why it's a temporary. I'm reading a really great book. So this could be actually number 1 situation right now, or it could be temporary. I'm reading a really great book, but I might not be reading it anymore. Or she's staying with her friend for a week. Again, this is a temporary situation. She's staying with her friend for a week. Now compare this with the present simple, which is used for permanent situations that we will continue, that we feel will continue for a long time. That's the difference. ing is temporary. Simple present tense is for a long time. Continuous. It continues for a long time. I worked in a school. This is a permanent situation. I'm working in a school. It's a temporary situation. In number 3 case, we can use the present continuous for temporary or new habits. For normal habits that continue for a long time, we use the present simple. We often use this with expressions like these days or at the moment. He is eating a lot these days. It's a temporary habit. It's not a permanent habit. She's swimming every morning. She didn't used to do this, but I guess she is swimming every morning right now. It's a temporary habit. Or you're smoking too much. Number 4 case. Another present continuous uses for habits that are not regular, but that happen very often. In this case, we usually use an adverb like always, forever, or constantly. Often we use the present continuous in this way to talk about an annoying habit. Annoying, that's the word, keyword. You're forever losing your keys. She's constantly missing the train. Lucy's always smiling. See, always, constantly, forever. So you use these words to express the annoying habit. That doesn't happen like all the time and not regularly. And we use sometimes for future uses. The next use is for definite future arrangements. Look for the word definite. Look at the word definite. Will is not definite. Remember the helping verb will? When we use will, it's a future arrangement, but will does not mean definite. In this case, we have already made a plan and we are pretty sure that the event will happen in the future. I'm meeting my father now. This is definite future. It's very close future too. But if you say, I will meet my father tomorrow, it's not very definite compared to using the be verb am plus ing. We're going to the beach at the weekend. Same thing. This is very definite future arrangement. But if you use we will go to the beach, it's different. I mean, it is a future, but it's just not very definite. Same thing. I'm leaving at 3. Same thing. I will leave at 3 means it's not very definite compared to using to be verb plus ing. So, I hope this was a good review, and I will see you next week. Bye.